Sora, which I know for a fact he has expressed does want to be one of his, in addition to his entourage of bracket characters available to him. So we'll see how this Sora fares against Frost, who also wants to be going Roy as well. Right, so getting right into our game number 1. We're going to be running it on PS2 for our first game. Getting straight into it, we got ourselves an excellent stream coming out from Stroder Ame for 49%. Oh, I'm sorry, from Frost for 49%, but Stroder making an equally good response for about 51% and ongoing.
That is correct. Just Frost kind of building up this early lead, but they still got their first stocks. No lead just yet as Stroder fights out of that position with an up B.
That's right, still building up B.
Both of them just trying to get something started. We got Frost at ledge trying to find his way back. He does find that, along with the side B putting Stroder in a bad way, but it's hard Gimp and Sora. That's the one thing. It's hard getting a read on, especially with such a new character. It's hard to find out what route they're exactly gonna go.
Yeah, such a new character, but like also like we can all agree like one of the most mobile characters that the game has to offer. Now that it's in its final state.
That's true, 100%. So hard to get a read on this character. So floaty, so nimble.
Yeah, it just gets around so quickly. I wouldn't say quickly, but just in such a unorthodox manner. But he's still going to be able to land some pretty consistent stuff despite that immense amount of movement. That down to in an up air is going to be closing out stock number 1 of our losers final set. 135% on the lightest character in the game against one of the strongest damage outputs that the game has to offer. And it might not be too long before we're back to the tight stock count again. But Stroder Ame definitely going to be making Frost work for that. Building up to 83% and an up smash for an entire second stock. And yeah, that's going to be one heck of an order on Frost's plate for just game 1 alone.
Bro, Stroder hunting for that stock, not willing to let that go, manages to find it, and now he's 2 stocks ahead of Frost. This Sora definitely paying dividends, something we did not see in the last set between these two.
Nah, we were very seldom seeing that.
Yeah, I'm back, and yeah, from the looks of it, it feels like Frost is finally being taken a little bit seriously from Stroder. Stroder finally picking a character that they play constantly in bracket, you know, to try to win the tournament. So, you know, this is an exciting evening for Frost. Not only did they finally get a win on Stroder, but Stroder's finally going full force against them. And it's pretty indicative of the results right now, where Stroder's up a full stock.
Yeah, it is, like you said, pretty indicative of that. But, I mean, at the same time, it does feel like things have kind of slowed down here a little bit for Stroder. I mean, all that explosive energy that we were seeing from those first two, or those most recent 2 stocks he's taken, it's kind of shown like it's almost looking like it didn't even happen until you look down at the scoreboard. It's a pretty even match here in the neutral.
That is correct, as they both just even in percents, but not in stock. Stroder going for that up B, not really getting it. Frost trying to punish every little mistake Stroder does. Not really being able to get anything off of it, but he's got him off stage now. See if he can put on this pressure, get this stock off. Fishing for those downers, doesn't quite get one.
I feel like there's a lot of like movement-based pressure that Frost is going for right now. He's dashing around all over the place, doing these weird empty hops and stuff, but he's not throwing out hitboxes sometimes. Now, sometimes not whiffing is a good option, but sometimes just doing all this movement stuff, jumping and freaking your opponent out with really no attacks coming out for any potential benefits is just not a good thing to do. But hey, Stroder recognizing that he had an opening there to take the stock, and you know, when you're up like that, and you know your move is going to hit, you can go for stuff like that. And Stroder did just that. Takes game number 1 in a pretty commanding fashion. That felt convincing.
Yeah, that was like a very poignant win there for him. Despite, you know, losing that stock at the last second, you know, just the fact he was able to do like his little flex moves like that, kind of shows he's in a comfortable position, not just with this character, but with this matchup and this player.
Yes, sir. And as we see the Ditto come out now, Stroder not really pulling out the Sora anymore. And as we saw in that kind of commanding victory, see if it's the same in this Ditto. So much Roy and Crom today.
Yeah, a lot of
yeah.
Honestly,
mostly between 3 people though.
Yeah,
that is true.
A lot on Monday, a lot like just after the past couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah, but then again, this is Frost's favorite stage to take, you know, this character to. Obviously, those short horizontal blast zones are really good for taking early stocks, and Stroder does just that in a 0-to-death fashion.
That is unanswered. Just no percent on him as he continues to put damage on Frost, and it finally gets interrupted. Stroder interrupts with a little string of his own right there.
Dude, I'm just saying, the stocks are going to be being lost ridiculously early on this stage, but, you know, going up to an advantage like that as Roy on this stage against Frost is huge. It's really big for Stroder. I think he could probably win this in a landslide if he keeps his momentum going. But then again, jab the side B for Frost, and he's got something to say to that.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that too, as we're getting right into the thick of it here. 2 stock count on the best stage for both of these two players, and I think that this sounds about right in terms of it being 2 stocks so far. No real major advantage besides like a somewhat visible percent lead for Stroder right now, but you can tell that the neutral's still playing out in an even fashion, to where that definitely has an opportunity to even out on Frost's end.
That is correct. The two continue to fight on each other, start holding onto that shield, almost going away, but his side B will connect. As Frost makes it back to stage, both of them, Frost making sure to come back in a very aggressive fashion. You see that side B coming in. Stroder doesn't finish. Frost keeps fending him off, and if he plays his cards right, Frost might be able to take the lead right now.
Yeah, and again, this is that poise I keep talking about. In situations like this, Frost will often be, you know, super composed. He might swing a little bit, but he will do so safely. And for some reason, this guy playing from a deficit is so good at just bringing things back to perspective where they're a lot closer. But the thing about playing against Stroder is that this is a top player, one of the best in the world, and he doesn't take stuff like that very lightly. And now we're seeing the percentage gap pretty much where it was a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we're kind of starting to see that marginalized once again, this time in favor of Frost here. Good stuff though from Stroder Ame. You see this in favor of Stroder, but yeah, good stuff here from Stroder, maintaining that composure and closing it out with that solid side B string. Good timing on it as well to make sure the opposition doesn't fall out of it.
Roy paying off for Stroder, man. He was kind of in the beginning of the match. It just seemed like it was going to go completely in his direction from the get-go. But it's nice to see that Frost put up quite a fight. Just not enough. Stroder very potent with this character.
Someone in chat is asking for side bets. Let me get my wallet. Hold up. Let me see what I'm working with.
Oh, we're going back at it with the Ditto.
Yeah, game number 3 here in Losers Finals. Stroder probably wants a shot at Grands, and he's probably gonna, you know, shoot twice and go home. Another 0 to death. Second time in a row after switching to the Roy here for Stroder. And yeah, you know, I think Stroder kind of wants to play Crow.
Yeah, it's just like Stroder's all over this right now, especially with that just insane kill in the beginning just to kick it off. Frost needs to fight that off, which it seems like he's doing a pretty good job of putting it up his own high damage string with no answers from Stroder so far.
Right, yeah. I mean, with that said, I'm gonna check it out. Almost going in for an F smash, but you can see that Frost is going to be getting quite the conversion all the way from one side of the stage to the other, piling on 52% onto Frost here, as he's going to be landing another down tilt forward throw to take him all the way to the other side of the stage. And Stroder's trying to set up for something big here, still controlling a lot of the neutral and a majority of the stage.
On top of this, he's got Rage too. Nearly max Rage Toad.
Yeah, that's right. Max Rage is off stage right now trying to make it back. He does, but Frost is quick to catch him. He's stuck on a platform. He can't get down. Frost is aware of that, and he gets him right there. As Stroder fires back with an F tilt of his own. He's not letting that lead get away from him in the slightest.
Yeah, has no plan to let him get away.
Tournament stock here.
We got good pressure with that forward air. Frost is going to be getting himself, trying to get himself set up. Lands a dash attack, actually. Beats out a lot of the neutral that Stroder was building up towards. Going to be forcing him to recover, but that counter off stage, time and time again, it just does himself dirty now.
Frost needs to stop doing that.
Yeah.